Won't be needing you this year.
Hey, yeah, I got asked my thoughts and opinions on the current NHL lockout, because I was, what is it, like 1 day, 2 days ago? I knew it was on the cards. This is sort of an English hockey fan. I knew it was on the cards, you know, based on technically the aftermath of the last lockout. But yeah, what do I think? I think the greatest group of individuals being affected by this lockout, much like any previous lockout, are being ignored again. Now, for those who don't know, the NHL locked out the players. You know, the owners of the clubs and the NHL locked out the players, so there will be no season. While technically this would be pre-season and the new season hasn't yet started, no lockout has ever ended well. What is it over? Now, I can kind of see where this is coming from. It's over revenue sharing. Basically, the amount the players make from the revenue, we're talking, I guess, tickets. I'm basing this on my knowledge of the Premiership and sort of Champions League, you know, ticket sales and television rights, because ultimately those are the two things that provide any sport or franchise, anything these days, with money. And yeah, so it's over that. After the last lockout, which was 2004, 2005, that I was there for in Canada. I lived through that lockout, and it fucking annoyed me, because that was when I first, the prior season was like when I first got introduced to hockey. So that annoyed me, and I've been a hockey fan ever since. But obviously now, having done my homework, I know that this is what, the fourth lockout since 1992. The fact that this exists in a sort of modern sport, you know, as I said, I understand, like, you know, it's about revenue sharing, and that's a big important part of sport. So obviously the players take a certain amount of money, the owners and the NHL take the rest. There's a little bit more in there, you know, there's wage caps, there's the fact that some owners have clubs that don't necessarily make as much money as everyone else, so, you know, they can't afford to pay the players what they do. But I couldn't give a shit about anything like that. I really couldn't give a shit, because here's how I look at it. Once again, the biggest group of individuals involved in this are the fans, you know, the public, and no one gives a shit about them. The fact that you can have 4 lockouts in a period of 20 years, to me, shows the contempt by the sport towards these people. Yes, maybe, you know, the revenue is an important issue. Maybe there are politics, you know. I don't care about that. I really don't care about that. The fact that the players and you know, the NHL and the owners can sit there and they can say, you know, right, here's how it works. We want this. Well, I want this. Well, you can't have this. Well, I want this. Screw you. Well, fuck you. Let's walk away and have no hockey season. Just boggles the mind, because ultimately, here's why I don't care. Here's why I care about the fans, and here's how I look at it. Players, absolutely loaded blokes. Owners, even more loaded blokes. Who's right? Who's wrong? Who cares? And the other side I would just quickly like to put out there, when players say, like, yeah, but, you know, this sport could, it could, you know, we could get massive injuries. Who cares? You have a talent that people would love to have. You have a talent that people would jump at in a second to play professional NHL for a fraction of the money. No one's got a gun to your head. If you seem to think that, you know, I could end my career, I should walk away. You know, the police, the firemen, the army, they all earn far less than you, and I think they're exposed to a little more sort of, you know, danger than you are. So that's an invalid argument. And then the owners saying we're just trying to preserve, you know, the league and all that shit. Couldn't care. Businessmen on loads of money. Both of you groups of individuals are absolutely fucking loaded. You will never have to worry about your sort of long-term security. You're loaded. So I can't find any sympathy with people who are already millionaires, or, you know, earning maybe not millions but hundreds of thousands of dollars, but somehow, you know, are acting like a bunch of spoiled little children, throwing your fucking toys out your pram and saying, if I don't get this for Christmas, or my mum doesn't buy me this for kindergarten, I'm gonna sulk and piss on everyone's chips. Selfish individuals. You should care about the fans, the one group of individuals that never gets cared for in these arguments. Because, as I said, 4 lockouts in 20 years, that's fucking embarrassing. If you really cared about this sport, somehow you would sit there knowing that, you know, the deadline was approaching for a lockout, and you would just hammer out a deal and respect the individuals who ultimately pay your wages. You know, TV franchises, you know, ticket sales. We're your paymasters. We're your paymasters, much like the Premiership. And I'm not defending the Premiership, because there's so much shit wrong with that at the moment as well. But if I want to watch you and I can't watch you in the wild, I have to have a shiny satellite package. So I am still paying your wages. You know, it's a working class sport, hockey, as is football. It's there for people who don't have these jobs that pay them millions, who don't have these jobs that they would, you know, love to in a heartbeat. Average Joe who works for a fraction, who this is something that provides entertainment, you know, passion, and just something he cares about every week. And you're just like, I'm not getting what I want. Fuck that shit. Alright, I know the owners, you know, caused the lockout on the players this time, but no sympathy, no sympathy. I cannot feel sorry for two groups of individuals who are fucking loaded, and they're depriving the individual, the person the sport was created for, the person who, you know, there would be no league for them, the person who goes there week in and week out. And, you know, I don't know how much it is now, but I've been to the Bell Centre and it was a lot of fucking money back then after the prior lockout. So seriously, all these people are saying to me, what are your thoughts? You don't appreciate the politics involved. I couldn't give two shits. I cannot find myself feeling sorry for two groups of individuals who are basically squabbling over fucking slices of the pie and shitting on the people the sport, you know, was created for. The sport owes a massive debt of gratitude. That's my thoughts on the lockout. What are yours?